Saturday night, February 19th, Melissa and I were coming back from dinner with a couple friends in Troutdale. So we're driving down Highway 26 and we go, oh, you know what? Hey, there's the Boring Winery and Tap Room. Our friends, Cody and Amy, just bought it like a month ago or something. We decided to stop by and see our friends at the winery. So we're having a beer at the time, and one of their other friends was there, this guy named Rodney. And Cody goes, oh, Rodney, you gotta tell Cliff and Melissa what you saw yesterday. And I think, oh, that's interesting. And he goes, oh yeah, I just saw a big hairy dude. And they all laughed for a second. And I went, wait a minute, what's going on with this? Tell me about it. And he told me basically on Friday, he was driving out from Lincoln City, where he lives, on Highway 18. And somewhere in the Duzer Corridor, right in front of a big broken down cedar tree, he saw a large hair-covered thing that was basically towering above the broken tree it was standing in front of. When he drove by, the thing kind of stepped back a few steps, and then after he had driven by, he turns around and he doesn't see it anymore. Well, that's a recent sighting, and all recent sightings should be checked out just in case there's some footprints in the area. So I couldn't get out there till Monday, but I made it out there and had a chance to look around. Looking around, I did in fact find rather large impressions that could have been footprints. Now, of course, remember, he saw it on Friday at some point, and I couldn't get out till Monday. And there was some weather going on in between those two dates out there. So whatever was there had been rained upon, and maybe even some snow and all that sort of stuff. So they weren't in good shape, but I did find a trackway. All right, so a bunch of ferns pushed down over that side. Nice shallow creek right here to cross, and then that, and there's one there. Some more up there. Something goes up and down here. Maybe it's people, maybe it's elk, maybe it's that thing the other day. I don't know. These footprints, I know they were footprints, but what of is kind of a question, but these footprints were 13 inches long or something like that. That's right in the zone, and they were quite wide as well. They were in really loose forest duff. It's kind of deceiving to look at these photographs because the duff was looser than it looked. So they would have been very difficult to cast, and I saw no signs whatsoever of toes. This is one of those circumstances where the photograph actually looks a lot better than the print did in person. I did look around the area. I found some interesting broken trees, not like twists or anything like that, but where something seems to have been pushing through the brush. There's the stump. Something was standing over here, I guess, backed off. There is a spot moving through here where things have been pushed down. All these ferns are broken, pushed onto the ground. I'm looking for a hair in this devil's club. These little spiky deals might pick up something. We will see. We will see. Look at these thorns on these guys. And when the leaves grow, they have thorns too. Oh, look at that. There's a little snap right there. Oh, what's that? I'm gonna keep on looking around. I'm gonna look on that side too. There's a trackway that goes right up there, over that down log there, and maybe that's where it went. I walked about 100, 200 yards up and down the river and really didn't find any. I found lots of sign of elk and deer and stuff and passings of large animals, but nothing I could really take to the bank, you know? So another investigation, another couple impressions in the ground that might be the real deal, but most importantly, we have another dot on the map. The vast majority of sighting reports basically come down to that, a dot on the map. Where was a Sasquatch and when was it there? And we don't have a lot of data from the Duzer Corridor. I've got another sighting out of there, but I think that this is the first time we actually have a specific location out of the Duzer Corridor. So now, just got to keep my ears to the ground. Maybe somebody else will bring something else to me. And I'm pretty sure it will, because I'm doing a job in Lincoln City in June. And at the last time I did this casino job, the last weekend in June, a couple years ago, I got a ton of stories from the area. But the people who live in the Coast Range are so tight-lipped about it, they didn't want anybody to know where it was. But I'll bet you $1, I'll bet you $1, that I'm gonna get a story of a Sasquatch sighting from the Duzer Corridor this coming June when I do that job in the very last weekend of June. Now, what I didn't show in the video that I think is kind of cool is on the way out on Highway 18, there's this really quirky, old, funky looking bookstore on the left-hand side of the road if you're traveling east. And I stopped there because I like quirky, funky things, you know? And I was also looking for Bigfoot books, but they didn't have any. So I talked to the owner, though, and I said, yeah, I'm here doing a Bigfoot sighting investigation. And the guy's name was Russ. He was a really, really cool guy. And I said, what do you know about Bigfoots in the area? And he goes, oh, well, there's the corridor creature. Oh, yeah? Tell me about that. I guess about a decade or 15 years ago, one of the farmhouses that's kind of last in the valley, pushed up against the Duzer Corridor, they were being visited frequently by a sasquatch that was stealing their eggs, the chicken eggs, that is, people don't lay eggs. So yeah, they were stealing the chicken eggs out of the area, and that's what was going on for 6 or 8 months, and all the locals kind of knew about it. So I thought that was kind of cool. Here we are. We have a local name for the local Bigfoot, the corridor creature. That's kind of cool.